Welcome back to Where Clarets Walk. It's the quickest, most comprehensive review of Burnley on the internet. We know there's longer stuff. We know there's our podcasts. Here's 20 minutes of just Burnley people talking about the Clarets. Welcome back, Dan. We've got to review the derby. And also, our big question this week is just how well have Burnley done in the transfer market now it's finally closed and we can stop talking about it. Here is Where Clarets Walk. Oh, what a week it's been then for Burnley. Very, very busy in that transfer window. Then we go into the Blackburn game. We'll get all your thoughts on that first, Dan, if we can, before we look at some tweets. What were your overall thoughts walking out of the ground then? You flew back from your holiday, especially for it. Was it worth it?
Yeah, I think it was a brilliant game. My voice is only just coming back after screaming for 90 minutes or 97, as it turned out. It was almost going back to a classic derby. You know, it was hot-tempered. There was a few strong challengers going in. There was a bit of flaring up on the pitch here and there. We had a well-created goal, and unfortunately they scored an absolute worldie, which you can't really take away from them. I think the overall feeling from the Burnley supporters, certainly from what I've seen online and people I've spoken to, was, given the last 2 weeks that we've had, transfer-wise and whatnot, I think not losing was the remit. We didn't. I think coming off, everyone was kind of pleasantly surprised. We played well. We had 4 new debutants in the league. So I think coming off, everyone was more positive. There we go. Some people who, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Some people saying, oh, absolute rubbish, we should have smashed them. But I don't agree with that. I think, when you've got half your team almost only had 45 minutes training together, it's never going to be a brilliant match. So to come back and not lose, I think was as good as we possibly could have expected given the turmoil.
And here's some of those negative ones. Jamie says it's another pathetic performance. Perez wasn't very good. Joshua can run but doesn't know how to kick a ball. Painfully boring to watch an attack. The fact that they had more chances after going down to 10 is just plain embarrassing. There are a few more like this. Do you understand that point of view, or is that just unrealistic given that this team haven't played together?
I understand the frustration. I really do, because for the last however long we've been spoiled with either Premier League football or we absolutely crushed this league 2 years ago. I think that a lot of people are having a go at Perez, and he's playing left back, and he was playing with Anthony, who'd only just joined the day before. There was lots of times where they were getting into decent attacking positions and then not really knowing what to do with it. The goal in the first 10 minutes, you thought, oh, we've sorted that. But then we had a lot of possession, getting to the edge of the box and then not doing an awful lot with it. So I get why people are frustrated. I think whoever that guy was, with the greatest of respect, he's entitled to his opinion. I think he's been a bit overcritical there. These players need time. Perez has only been here for a couple of months or a couple of weeks, whatever it is. They need time. You can't just come in and say, right, we're going to wipe the floor with Blackburn, because Blackburn have got a team that's been together for a season at least. They've added to it. They've sold a few, but they've added to it, and they were more of a cohesive unit. They defended well. They went down to 10, and I think that almost ruined the game a bit, because we were pressing and then they caught us on the break once or twice. Trafford pulled off a decent save. So I get the frustration, but I think, if we're having this conversation in November and we're still having these performances, I could understand it more. I just think that people are expecting the world, and it takes time.
Okay. All right. Just on Trafford, I just want to bring up one more tweet. That's the bottom one here. I never felt so disconnected from the club since I got a season ticket in 1992. Could you announce the team earlier? I wasted time driving to the turf, only to find out that Trafford was back in goal. I refused to watch the opposition's 12th man throw games away. Why isn't Blackie starting? A goalkeeper that, took Ipswich up to the Premier League last year, a decent goalkeeper, fantastic shot stopper. Why is he not getting a start?
I don't know. I've had this debate with a few people, either online or in person. He played against Wolves. He started against Wolves. He pulled off some fantastic saves, and he can't do. some people are hypercritical of him about the goal. He comes out for the cross with his legs, but he seems to be a decent keeper. He's got pedigree at this division. Trafford had a bad season last season, and then the season before he was in League One. He's only 21. He'll get better. Goalkeepers don't peak until later on in their lives in any event. I'm not a fan of Trafford. I know when we were talking this a few weeks ago, Mike liked him, and he said that he was a decent prospect and what have you. He's got a mistake in him. He's got too many mistakes in him. He's not comfortable with crosses. The only thing he's got in his locker is that he's a decent shot stopper, and he is. He can get better, but for me, I don't know whether it's in his contract he has to start. I don't know if that's true, but that's the rumours that you hear. But why this other guy isn't playing is beyond me. I mean, the first 40 seconds, he gives the ball away, nearly gets lobbed.
Yeah.
You know, and if that had gone in, then had to put his tin hat on and probably delete Twitter.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look at your transfer dealings, and now we can leave the derby to one side till January. The business that you've done puts you top of the spending list of all 24 clubs, as you would expect. But the amounts of money that you've recouped are also some of the highest, as you would expect as well. If we look at the signings that you have made now, we've made that a bit bigger. There we go. I couldn't even fit it on one page. Is how many additions? 18 million euros for Tresor, 12 million. Rest nearly 7 million for Hannibal, who had a great game, didn't he? Hannibal against Rovers.
Well,
yeah, it was really good. Joe Worrell from Forest. So my question to you now that the window is closed, does this team, with the quality on paper and what you know about many of them, get you back to the Premier League?
I think it does. I think the difficulty comes is that these are the known players, but I think it's a bit. Tresor, we signed him last season on loan. Esteve the same. Vegos, you've included him in Obafemi, but he's now gone to Ajax and what have you.
Yeah.
So I think certainly from what I saw of the ones that played, I think what's he called? I can't pronounce his name. He played it on the wing. Andreas, he's about the fifth one down there. I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you can't pronounce it. We'll just call him Andreas for now.
Andreas, he's a bit head scratching at the minute. He doesn't seem to know what his position is. He might be playing out of position. But I think the players we brought in, Hannibal looked, very lively, very capable. Anthony, I think a lot of people had him as man of the match on the left wing. Sarmiento, he only had about 20 minutes. Josh Laurent, he's well known in this division. He seemed to have a decent game. I believe that this team, given time, and we've got 2 weeks now, I don't think many of these are going out on international break, or if they are, they're not going far. And I think if he gets in with them, gets them training, gets them in daily, I think possibly by the end of September, beginning of October, we should start seeing consistent results, because we are playing, when we get a chance, we're playing decent football. We dominated possession against Blackburn. We just didn't create an awful lot. That will come. If we get to, like I say, if we get to October and we're still playing the same and not scoring, that's an issue. But, you can't have, that's what you say, what's that, 15 players in? It's an entire team and subs, and put them all together in a week and say, right, you go and win the league. It takes time. I think they will. I think we'll be up there or thereabouts. Others will disagree, but that's my opinion in any event. It's just a bit galling because the players we've lost last season, they're all calling them fit to burst. All the fans were saying, rubbish, get rid of them. We win 2 games handsomely, and then we sell them all, and then they're saying, what are you doing selling all them? It's just, I don't think the management or the owners can win a do at this moment in time, and it will come with results, as is the way in football.
2 weeks ago, we were commenting on asset stripping and whether the chairman was guilty of trying to make profits from that. Has that all died down now from the fans? Are they happier that money has been reinvested into the squad?
It's a mixed bag from what I've been gathering. Some people have said bringing in the Sarmiento from Brighton, Anthony from Bournemouth, Hannibal from Man United, You're bringing in quality players at this level, certainly. And a few people have said, okay, we got it wrong. We overreacted. I think, we've got some money back in. Others are saying against that, saying it is asset stripping. It's going back to Moneyball and all this kind of stuff. I think you have to balance the books. These players were on big money, big wages. We need to get rid of them. And a lot of them were quite vocal, saying they don't want to play for us. Well, if they don't want to play for us, go and play for somebody else. So I think in the main, had we lost on Saturday, I think the fan base would have been completely more toxic and they would have turned on him. The fact that we didn't and we played as well as we did, given the circumstances, it's bought them a bit of time.
Leeds next, away from home. I'm presuming you'd take a draw now, would you?
Yeah, I certainly would. Leeds haven't been setting the world on fire. I don't know where they are in the league. The top half, I know they're not. Are they up there or thereabouts?
They're drawn 2-1-2, so they haven't lost yet. But
yeah, so they're only a point better than us, I think, on those maths. Yeah, going a point away in the Championship is a good point. It is in any league. I'd take it today if it was offered. But like I said, with this squad given 2 weeks together in training, you never know. We could go there and do a bit of something. It's going to be a bad atmosphere. There's a bit of needle between Burnley and Leeds, but there's a bit of needle between Leeds and everybody because we all hate Leeds. But it's a cross Pennine derby. They'll be in good voice. We'll take a good load, if not, I don't know if we're sold out, but certainly we'll take a good few with us. And it should be a good game. Whether we'll win, I don't know. I'd take a point. I don't think they'll outplay us. I don't think we'll be played off the park. And certainly, I think given 2 weeks together now, we should be competitive there. I think if we lose or if we lose poorly, then the toxicity, if that's the word, if not, I've just made it up, creeps back in and you'll start seeing a lot of people calling for pace, I think Parker's been given a free pass out of all of this, by the way. He seems to have been, he's been given a load of rubbish to deal with, or he's been given so much background stuff to deal with. So I think the results won't be focused on Parker. It'll be directed towards the board. But yeah, take a point anywhere. If it was at home, you'd be wanting to win.
Fair enough. It's going to be the game of the week in 2 weeks' time, Leeds against Burnley, that's for sure. Thank you very much for joining us, Dan. If you haven't yet done so, press the subscribe button right now. We love making this content for you. If you're a Burnley fan that wants to come on and challenge Dan on anything he said, we'd love to hear from you as well. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you the other side of the international break. Cheers, Dan.
Thanks a lot.